We're good.
Awesome.
Awesome. I think we're live. I think we're
Yeah.
live. We did it. And it's exactly 1 p.m. Central. So I'm super excited that we're on time. And I'm proud of both of us because we had a weird technology improvement. However, that means technology glitch. Facebook and Zoom decided as of this morning to interact in a completely new way. So look at us. We got it figured out right on time. Guys, welcome to day one of, I don't know if it's the holiday challenge or I think holidays
are a challenge.
Holidays are a challenge. I'm going to let my amazing better half in every single way take over here. But I'm Dr. Jason Bradley with Epic Functional Medicine, the founder of the Epic 5 plan. And this is my amazingly better half, Rachel. And
hi guys.
Take it away.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. This week's all about the holidays and just basically doing what we can to be healthy through them. I think there's a lot to handle with the holidays, right? Am I right? This year's, of course, no exception. There's a ton going on this year too. So we just want to, take it day by day through like things we can do to, stay healthy, make good choices, and just start the new year off without, having too many regrets and feeling good.
I think that's a really good plan. I also just wanted to point out, I just realized how amazingly festive Rachel is. She's got,
I kind of forget I have
I know it's great.
My earrings in here.
It's fantastic.
And you've got ornaments.
You've got color, and I am wearing my typical black and gray, so, you brought some color and life to the party for sure.
We'll have to holiday him up.
We'll
what do you
holiday
guys
me
think?
up. We'll holiday me up.
We have some
sweater.
people here. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Some of your names look familiar. Some of them, we've had our group really growing in the last, little bit, and that's super exciting. It's just awesome to see people prioritizing their health and wanting, further help and guidance. Our group is all about really support, positivity. Also, like there's a lot of support groups out there that are just, commiseration and what supplement to take for this symptom or that symptom. And our group is really, it's more about being proactive, making good choices, long-term health, and of course we have our clinic and can help people personalize their care as needed too. But the goal is really just those good choices that we need to make every day.
And I think, I think as, the primary doctor at the clinic, I think that my goal is always resolution. And I think for resolution, unfortunately, we've been kind of programmed to think about quick solutions, and they're not really solutions, right? They're Band-Aids, but we want everything solved in 30 minutes with time for at least 4 or 5 commercial breaks for drugs these days. But nonetheless, I think that this group, I think Rachel hit it hard when, we've been part of some other groups where it seems like an echo chamber of just complaining and commiserating and, nothing works. And I want you to know that we have solutions. So if you guys have questions as we're going through this, throw them out there.
Yeah, you guys can throw them in the chat.
And I was going to say, just to set up some ground rules, this is the way I've done it. I used to, because I don't know who wants to talk, who doesn't want to talk. If anybody has anything you want to say or share, throw them into the chat, either on Facebook, the comment section, or if you're on Zoom, throw them into the chat box and we'll answer those in real time or as close to real time as we can. I'll keep an eye on that since Rachel's running the show. And then second of all, if you want to actually talk, if you're on Zoom and you want to have a conversation, we would love that. But rather than me guessing, if, Sally wants to talk or not and say, Sally, I'm calling on you now, just, raise your hand in the chat box on Zoom or just say, hey, I have something to share, call on me. And we'll do that. That's easy peasy. We'd love to have conversations. God knows I love the sound of my own voice and never get tired of it. But I think that some of you guys might like to hear some other voices as well. So yeah, anything goes. This is a safe space for all of us and just a place to learn and grow. And certainly if any of my clients are private clients are on here, feel free to share, anything that you'd like to share as well, anything that you've learned along the way and some, tricks of the trade, so to speak. So perfect.
Awesome.
Where do you want to start?
So being that we're the Epic 5 plan, I think the best way for us to tackle the holidays and handle them and do them right is to go through our Epic 5 plan day by day here. So I thought we could do just a little quick summary of what the actual Epic 5 plan is for those of you that don't know.
It's a good idea.
And then we'll start in with that first pillar, which is hydration. So Dr. Bradley here, he's been doing this about 20 years.
I'm trying to share a Zoom link, just so you guys know I am paying attention. I thought that I would try to share that Zoom link back onto the Facebook crowd. I see a number of
Oh,
folks that have joined us
I
there,
see.
but it's okay. It's there. So sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
That's okay. Yeah. So you've been doing this 20 years, and over that 20 years, the Epic 5 plan has been evolving. And then I think in the last couple of years, it came to where we are today, helping people really, lay a super solid foundation for their health and, basically roadmap to follow.
Yeah.
And so do you want to go over the pillars?
Sure. Yeah. And I was just going to say the way this came together is the way all great things come together, right? And let me just talk about one thing that's, I think, unique about the way that we approach care is that we are very outcomes oriented. What I mean by that is rather than being focused on the problem, we're focused on the outcome, on the solution. Is the solution that we presented work? So over the last 2+ decades, let me just tell you guys, I have, done trial and error on just about everything that you could imagine. I mean, the reason I got into what I do is because I, like this gal, have suffered from Hashimoto's and thyroid disorders, positive autoimmunities. We actually have polyautoimmunities each. We also have lupus variants, or we used to. And really, I wanted us just to be healthy. So, the first part of my career, I just spent trying to understand what causes autoimmunity. How does the immune system get involved? And then as I learned about that, I learned about different triggers and different associations with different organ systems and different processes in the body. And ultimately, again, trial and error, looking at patient outcomes. And here's the question that I had. People come to us with issues, right? Is that a good way to say it? Lots of different issues, different symptoms. I don't like to focus on symptoms, but issues. And we looked at how quickly can we move people from point A to point B. Point B being that their symptoms are very low, at least 80% resolved, that their labs are looking good, that their antibodies are negative, that they're feeling good, and that they literally are just living out their lives in a far, I always say that they're a brighter light on this planet than when we met them. And, what used to take years and years, we've compressed into a shorter amount of time. But ultimately, I want you to know it was not an overnight success. It took a lot of work, a lot of study, a lot of research, a lot of trial and error, a lot of talking to other paraprofessionals and other folks. Me picking up 4 doctorate degrees, a couple of board certifications, a master's degree, and everything else that you could imagine to get to where we are. And ultimately, guys, it boiled down to 5 things. And this is what we found, that when we help our clients, our private clients, focus on these 5 things, they get better much more quickly than if we just rely on drugs and supplements, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here they are, and they're pretty straightforward. And this is the Epic 5: hydration, diet, movement, stress management, and sleep patterns. And granted, I mean, there's like subcategories within each one of those, but ultimately, guys, I'm going to let you know that if we focus on those 5, all of us, if we just say, I'm going to lean into making sure I'm hydrated, I'm going to lean into eating a proper diet. What the heck is that? We're going to talk about it. I'm going to move a little bit each day. I'm going to have a stress management strategies that I practice every day and implement when I get triggered. I have a sleep pattern that is consistent every single day. When we do those 5 things, it's a win. It's a win for you. It's a win for me. It's a win for our clients. And then, so what we do with our private clients, we also do a very deep dive into internal laboratory medicine, internal chemistry, biochemistry, physiology, genetics, metabolism, hormones, thyroid, adrenals, digestion, everything, neurotransmitters. Boy, did I leave anything out? I'm sure. Heavy toxicities, food sensitivities.
Genetics.
Yeah. Everything and anything that you could imagine. We'll do a deep dive with our private clients so that we can help them transform into that being of light that we know that they are, that we want that light on this planet. I always say that we're in a dark world. It's been a dark year. Mm-hmm. Is this too weird to say? I've already started it. 2020 was a hard year for all of us, I think, unless you're some special unicorn that I haven't met yet. 2020 has been a challenge, and it seems like a dark and bleak place in a lot of places around the world. And I just want us all to shine the brightest that we can. And one thing that I know is that if we don't have our health, we don't get to shine. So we've focused on those outcomes. How quickly can we get there? And those 5 pillars are key. Mm-hmm. Did I cover that well?
Yeah. I thought you did great.
Yeah. It's funny that I don't know, 20 years plus of research led us to those 5 things, because they're just basic human needs, right? Again, drink enough water, eat the right food, move the right way and in the right amount, keep the stress management under control, and then have a pattern to what we call a diurnal pattern, a sleep-wake pattern. I mean, it's pretty basic human needs, but it's like we've forgotten how to do it. So we relearned how to do it. We taught our clients how to do it. Now we're teaching you guys how to do it.
Yeah. And I think, definitely this year, stress management, we'll spend more time on that than anything else. But yeah, I think those comprise, what it means to be healthy and yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hydration. Do you want to just jump right
yeah,
in?
let's do it.
Yeah. Do you want to give an outline for the week? Like just a general like guide?
I mean, yeah. So basically, we'll talk about hydration and there will be assignments for you guys each day too. So look out for those. But yeah, so
And they're really hard.
they're super not hard because yeah, we just want to end this year on a bright note, right? And
There's some,
you
maybe
don't
it's
need any
action steps.
extra-
Maybe it's action
extra
steps.
work, but yeah, action steps for you guys to take. Yeah, so we'll go into hydration today. Speaking of, and tomorrow Natalie will actually be on, our health coach Natalie. She's awesome, and we'll be chatting through what you can bring to holiday gatherings if you're having them. I kind of started thinking, I'm not sure with COVID what your family gatherings will even look like, but yeah, so what to bring to your family gatherings, we'll chat about tomorrow. We'll go over our Big Five diet a little bit more, what to bring, because we always say bring something that you can eat. So we'll talk about what you can
Strategies.
Plan. Yep, and
Some
strategy
strategies.
there.
Mhm.
Then we've got movement on Wednesday. Our health coach Dan will be joining us, and he just did our movement challenge, so he's gonna be great to chat
With me last month.
with you last month.
Mhm.
Yep. And we'll be talking about holiday hits, HIITs. So that'll be fun. And then what do we have after that? Stress management. Basically.
And I'll be back on Thursday for you with that, or for
Yep.
that with you.
Yes.
I mix up words all the time. I'm dyslexic for real, and I mix up words all the time.
I do too. So what is that? We're going to talk about setting intentions, gratitudes, and I think our word for 2021 is grace. Giving ourselves grace, which we've all had to do all year, right? So we'll chat about what that looks like. And then for sleep, it's about routine and resetting your routine. Those morning and evening routines are like crucial to our health, I think. And so we'll look at what we can do for those on Friday.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
So,
and also just again, for full disclosure, I love doing these. So we do these every month. And it's usually the second week of the month. This month, it's the third week of the month, just to keep you guys confused. And these are all being recorded. We are, again, amazing health coach, Natalie. Once these are done, she uploads these onto YouTube and then organizes them into something called a series, I think. I'm not sure if that's the right word on YouTube. But nonetheless, they're all organized there. So just kind of jumping back in October, we did a really good, like a deeper dive into just diet. And like she said, in November, Dan and I did a very deep dive into movement and actually a lot of the psychology behind both eating and movement. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't caught those, if you missed those in October and November, go back to YouTube, our YouTube channel. What is it? YouTube?
It's just Epic Functional Medicine.
I think our channel is Epic Functional Medicine. Yeah. I'll make sure to drop it into the group so that you guys can make sure to find that stuff. So cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we'll just jump right into hydration then. Hey, thanks. And yeah, if you guys that are on Zoom here want to, chat anything over, feel free.
Yeah.
And we have our eye on Facebook.
And I like seeing some names that I recognize. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you're all here, and I'm thankful for the time to spend together.
Yeah, for sure. So hydration. How about, I think with the holidays in general, it's about getting together with family and loved ones, right? There's a sense of pressure, I think, that goes along with that in, what we're eating.
But
also what we're drinking, right? So, yeah.
And not to mention, besides pressure,
yeah,
I think that we all work, come on, it's 2020. We're all overworked, underpaid, overtaxed and underslept, right? I mean, that's just the reality of where we are in life. And, no judgment at all. This is just reality. People drink. I mean, there's alcohol involved in a lot of social settings. There's a lot of alcohol involved in decompressing, even, not necessarily privately, but, maybe not in a big family gathering. I mean, there is seemingly a time and a space for alcohol. And it seems like during the holidays, it comes out a little bit more, and we want to make sure that you guys are prepared. One of the things that we wanted to prepare is just to chat about that. And I'm going to dangle a carrot. We have a healthy holiday hangover.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We're going to share it with you here. Let me see if it'll work.
But before we get there, here's what I'm wondering. Should we just talk about hydration basics and like why does it matter if we hydrate? Why does it matter? Like how much should we be hydrating? And who cares anyway? You
Right.
know, and my doctor said that the food that I eat has water in it, so I don't need to worry about it. And the coffee I'm drinking and the tea and et cetera, right? So do you want to
Yeah.
cover those basics?
Oops. Yeah.
It's okay.
We'll go back to Zoom there.
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. I'm just helping.
Yeah, hydration basics. You know, basically pretty much everyone's dehydrated. I know that's an area like I have
How do we know
to-
that though?
How do we know that?
Yeah. How can you say definitively? Here's what Rachel doesn't know. This is going to be where
He's putting me on the
I'm
spot.
grilling her on the
Yeah.
spot, right? And just to let you guys know, and anybody that's watched any of these that we've done, these are never scripted, and I am the cantankerous pushing the buttons person. So how can I agree with you,
Yeah.
but how can I say confidently that nearly everyone is dehydrated, besides the fact that even the CDC says that about 85% of us are? How can we definitively know that? How do we know that?
Lab work.
Yeah, we do lab work,
Yeah.
right? So, with our clients that come in,
That's always the answer.
yeah, the answer is always lab work, right? I don't believe anything that I read or anything that I hear. So what numbers talk to me, I'm very left-brained and very objective. I like to have objective data to analyze. And I can tell you that I know the CDC says 85%, but shoot, what percent would you say that our brand new clients coming in? I have a number in my head.
You see their labs more than I do, but
Just guess.
I'll go with 90.
I was going to say 95.
Oh.
So 95% of the people that we meet for the first time seem to have some dehydration issues. And again, so it becomes critical. The body, everything in your body requires water to work.
Right.
Everything. Actually, there's only 6 things that your body needs total to function. It is proteins, fats, fibers, vitamins, minerals, and water. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Your entire body, everything that you can think of, including thinking, neurotransmitters, is made out of proteins, fats, fibers, vitamins, minerals, and water. And if we're deficient in any of those, we're going to be in trouble. So it's important that, this is an easy place for us to assess.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you can guess probably that you're dehydrated. Even if you're my private client and you're working on hydration, you're probably still dehydrated. And I don't have an explanation as to why we're all so dehydrated. That's a huge question. It's more than just drinking enough water, I can tell you that, but that's a great place to start, right? Mm-hmm. So we're all dehydrated. Water is necessary for every biological function in your body, everything that you can imagine. If we're dehydrated, let's talk about some symptoms of dehydration.
Oh boy. Every
Quiz.
system of the body, right? So I would say the biggest thing that
Yeah.
impacts me and I can tell is the brain fog and and a sense of fatigue. And also I get more hungry and I'm going for something to fuel me, but really my body's saying, actually, you should be drinking water.
Right.
So
that's interesting. Yeah. So if you just Google, and Dr. Google tells us a lot, and somebody fact check me too and throw it into the comments if you want. But if you Google the symptoms of dehydration, the main symptoms are fatigue, brain fog, headaches, and increased body pain, and hunger. And in fact, there's been a number of studies that have been done showing that people that are dehydrated overeat. And there's a huge correlation, and we don't need to go into the physiology of that and the biochemistry of that, but we certainly can. But nonetheless, those if you think about it, I'm tired, I can't think straight, I have a little bit of a dull headache, my body's a little achy, I just want to eat some carbs. That sounds like every human on the planet, right?
And then you start making worse choices,
right? And
you start eating the carb,
and it starts compounding in on itself.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we start with water, because it's mostly readily available, which is great, and we have control over it, right? Yeah. So
almost every, I would say, if you're able to watch this video, you probably have access to clean water. I can't say that's true for everybody on the planet, but if you have access to this video, especially live streaming, you probably have access to clean water.
Which is a blessing, right? Which
it totally
is.
And we're very grateful. Very grateful for it.
Yeah. So I guess, should we talk about how much to drink?
Let's talk about how much to drink. Yeah. So should we have a quiz?
Oh, it doesn't work. Dang it.
What's okay?
I have a link to it. I was going to put it in the comments.
Oh, we'll work on that.
That's fine.
So we'll just have a quick quiz for my clients. Throw in the chat if you want. How much water y'all think people should have? And if you're on Facebook, I'm trying to look at this, and I'm oh boy.
Oh.
They're good. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. I didn't have the comments open on Facebook.
Hi, guys.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Hi, everybody. And so how much water, just plain old water, you know, I'm working on a liter right now. How much water do you think that we need? We'll give a couple seconds for that. Facebook has a little delay, so we can fill in a little bit here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I will
And you
get
can,
the link
yeah.
for everybody.
And I'll just keep
I think.
juggling and doing a
You can
dance
sing a song.
and sing. You don't want me to sing. I promise you that. Rachel's probably the first person to say that.
Oh, none of this technology stuff's working, but
There it
I
is.
will get it here.
There you go. And you're going to drop that into the link
Yeah,
on
but
Zoom.
I'm not yet until we,
Oh.
yeah. So,
So Justice,
said,
honestly says a gallon. That's a really good answer. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go. Pat says 100 ounces for women, 125 ounces for men. I love it. Yep. Patty said, Rose
job.
said 100 or 128 ounces. Patty said 120 ounces a day. Guys, these are great answers. Usually, yeah, and you're all right. Every single one of those answers is correct.
good job.
And that's a good place to start. And I'm going to define that. Is it okay if I talk?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I'm telling you, I just keep talking. Poor Rachel puts up with it. I don't know how. I think she has earplugs that she puts in sometimes. Here's the deal. 100 ounces. This is just general standards. Around 100 ounces or around 3 liters for women, roughly.
Yep.
And around 128 ounces, about a gallon or about 4 liters for men.
Yep.
That's not quite, perfect for everybody. And I gave you some loose guidelines there. The other thing that I wanted to say is that's generally a good statement, but let me qualify this a little bit because, there are unfortunately some doctors that are out there. There are some doctors that are, oh, good. You found it.
Yeah. So
Go ahead, read that.
I shared a link with you guys. It has actual answers, but
I rounded up.
yeah. So the U.S. National Academies of Sciences says that men should get 15.
Engineering and medicine.
Engineering and medicine.
Right.
Yes. Should get 15.5 cups or 3.7 liters.
I rounded
a
up to
day.
4 liters.
And women
Right.
should get 11.5 cups or 2.7 liters.
And I
a day.
rounded up to 3.
If you round it up to 3 and 4
Yeah.
liters.
Yeah.
Which is 3 or 4 of.
Yeah.
This
Hers is, this is with the line, you can tell it's straight vodka
Oh
that
my
she's
God.
drinking there. Speaking of holiday drinking, I'm kidding.
never
We
know.
we
I'll
actually
never know.
we actually don't drink, and we'll share some tips on that too. Julia had sorry about that, Julie. I read that E as an A. Julie had a really good point. It said half your body weight in ounces. So if you weighed 100 pounds, 50 ounces, you weigh 150 pounds, 75 ounces. Here's what I always say, Julie, just to clarify that, because that is commonly what you're going to hear parroted even by physicians, which is horrible. We want to go back to the National Academy of Sciences, right? Engineering and medicine, with roughly 3 or roughly 4 liters. And I'm going to tell you that I'm a little bit closer than they are by rounding up. I don't know where that half your body weight in ounces came from. I hear it all the time. That's what I was taught when I was going through school. It's incorrect. It's not based on any factual data whatsoever. It's just somebody made it up. But this is what I tell people. 100 ounces or 125 ounces, whatever that is, whatever that is, men and women, or half your body weight in ounces, whichever is more, right? So if you're a female, as an example,
Yeah.
and you weigh, I'm going to do math here real fast, 220 pounds. Okay. And you're working on weight management, and we're 220 pounds. Half of that would be 110 ounces, right? So these are jumping off points. All these numbers that we're sharing with you, of course, are jumping off points. So I would say, depending on if you're male or female, 100 ounces, 120 ounces, or half your body weight in pounds, but in ounces, whichever is more. And that's the important part. Okay. So some bodies need more. Also, Rachel blew my mind yesterday. Speaking of fluids and the arteries, what was that stat?
So I'm finishing my natural medicine degree, and I
Doctor of naturopathic medicine is what she's saying there.
Thank you.
There we go.
I was reading that for every pound of fat, basically, we have on our body has to make 500 miles of capillaries.
Say that one more time. For every pound?
Every pound of, I'd have to.
For every extra pound of weight.
Yeah. your body has to make 500 miles of capillaries. Basically, it's a lot of work, and your heart has to work a lot harder for
And you're gonna need a lot more
fluid.
fluids. I mean, that's
And
crazy.
the fluids to flush basically keep.
I was blown away by that, and I had to fact check that, and she was certainly correct. I honestly, I'm sure I heard that at some point, because I had to take those boards too. But nonetheless, I mean, what a fascinating statistic there. But yeah, nonetheless, lots of water. Now, here's the other thing I wanted to share. We track data, labs, objective science with our clients, right? And at least once a year, if not more often if needed, but at least once a year, we take a look at their hydration status. And I will tell you that with those jumping off points, roughly 3 liters for women, roughly 4 liters for men, most people are still dehydrated. Yep, a little dehydrated. And again, I just want to emphasize that those are jumping off points. And really the only way to know what your body needs is looking at labs. Now, I have a question. I'm drinking a lot of water. What's the first thing that happens to my body? Something changes. No, well, there's a lot. She's like, what doesn't change?
Right.
I was talking about peeing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm since I'm male. I'm male, mostly I'm always talking about my nether regions, so I know. And I'm also very funny. And thanks for putting up with me. But nonetheless, you start urinating a lot. And I hear this from a lot of people like, holy cannoli.
I can't do it.
I can't do it, right?
I used to be a nurse in a hospital and I could barely find time to go to the bathroom.
I call that, in medicine, we call that playing camel. Where you just you're storing water, and because you can't stop, you got to just keep going. So interesting, but yeah, you're going to be urinating a lot because water, one of the first things it does besides trying to hydrate your system, the reason people are still dehydrated, even with drinking that much water, is because we're so darn toxic. We are in a toxic world, guys. Between the food-like substances that we're exposed to, we're going to get to alcohol here in a minute. That's also dehydrating. All the air that we're breathing, the water that we're drinking. I mean, unless it's purified, anything that we're touching, anything has toxins in it, right? So that's a whole discussion for another day about making other choices.
We're like sponges, and we got to be
ringed out. I don't know what the word is. We need an English major in here. So
anyways, water will help with that process.
Detoxification.
Right? If you can get that visualization, you'd be like, I need water.
Yeah. Water is going to help with detoxification. So getting the junk out of the system, right? That's one of the first things that we do is remove the waste.
Right.
Remove the toxins from the body. That's it's imperative. We always think about, especially in other groups where they're like, my hair's falling out, what do I need to take for my hair to not fall out? And I'm thinking to myself, why is your hair falling out? It sounds to me like you've got toxic metals in your body. You've got inflammation. You probably got too much of certain hormones like DHT, dihydrotestosterone, possibly too much estrogen. I'm thinking toxins. What's causing that hair to fall out? Along with, for my thyroid people, of course, I'm thinking, I wonder if they have enough thyroid hormone. I wonder if they have enough this, or, enough of the B vitamin complex and the biotins and the vitamin Ds and all that stuff that we need. So we're looking at both removing and replenishing at the same time with our labs. But that's, again, a laboratory question. But the simple thing is drink water to detoxify, drink to detoxify, drink to detoxify, drink to detoxify. If you guys can just get that, eventually when your body is less toxic, you start using the water to hydrate your system. And that's when the magic starts to happen. But guys, that can take some time. And you may spend some time on the toilet or in the toilet, just removing. And I make a joke that actually one of my nurse practitioners made a joke one time that if you follow Dr. Bradley's advice, it also lowers the drama in your life because you're not able to stand, around and talking to your coworkers anymore because you're in the bathroom peeing all day long. So it also serves that function, which lowers stress, so it's coming back.
Facebook while you're peeing.
Yeah, exactly. Tom. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I think those are all good reasons to hydrate. Right? Yeah. Does anybody have any questions? I know Rachel wants to show this, a couple of amazing handouts. Do you guys have any questions about hydration? Does anybody have any comments? I'll give a couple minutes for that. And
yeah, love to hear how you guys do with hydration. That's an area, it's super easy to control, but super easy
See-
in the world we live in now to forget.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that does come back to, which we'll talk about, alcohol, coffees, teas, heaven forbid, sodas, things like that, that, you know, there's scientists who study how we can, you know, get
They're
people
called
to
food scientists,
get
right?
hooked on these things. And they do a good job. We need more scientists on how to get hooked on water, right?
Right.
But
And I think Rachel hit a really good point there. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's one of those things we have control of. See, you can see my waters. This will be gone by the time we're done. And my patients know what it means to drink it like you mean it, which is at the end of the show. If I haven't finished it, I'm going to guzzle it down in front of you guys. But nonetheless, here's the deal. Water is readily available to us, right? You have control over it. I have control over it. You have control over it. But guys, I want you to understand, I've spent the last 21 years of practice, not to mention all of the medical school training that I had before that. And I know how important this is, and I know the outcomes, and I know the data. Guys, I still have reminders on my watch that pop up at 8 a.m. No, I'm sorry. Right when I wake up, it says hydrate. At 8 a.m., it says hydrate. At 11:55, it says hydrate. At 5:15, no, I'm sorry. At 5 o'clock, it says hydrate. And at 8 o'clock p.m., it says hydrate. Why does it tell me this? I forget. And I'm making a joke that what we're talking about is second only to religion. I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Yeah.
Faith, family, and then this, right?
Yeah,
Faith, family, and then personal health, right? But nonetheless, this is second, like I said, to religion as a joke. And I still have to set those reminders, even knowing everything I do, having all of the patients that I do have.
Yeah.
Rose had a great question. At what circumstance do you what circumstances create a need to extra hydrate beyond 100 ounces, like exercise, illness, et cetera? Yeah, Rose, that's a really great question. I'm going to try to set that there. There we go. Now I'll be able to look a little bit easier. Rose, I think it's a really great question. And I think it's a really highly individualized answer, but I think that you nailed some really good ones there. Obviously, if you're exercising, then you're going to need a little bit more hydration. I want to clarify though, these sports drinks, these, like Gatorade, that's actually going to dehydrate you. If it has sugar in it, it's going to dehydrate you. If it has an artificial sweetener in it, like sucralose, what's that called? Splenda?
Splenda, yeah.
Yeah, sucralose, Splenda, aspartame, which is, what is that called? Equal? I don't know. What's the one that's banned, but people still use saccharin? Any of these artificial sweeteners,
So
it's
like the Diet Coke.
like the Diet Cokes and diet this and diet that.
Yeah.
Guys, it's going to dehydrate you. And here's what's interesting. There's a couple of things going on food scientist wise with this, that they flavor it really, really sweet, which hits our bliss point. That bliss point is connected to our brain and it makes us crave that. They're dehydrating us on purpose, making you crave that sweet sports drink even more. They're just getting you to buy more. It's a big old trick, guys. And it's a loop they want you on. They want you on that hamster wheel all day long. They want you buying those products all day long. So don't get sucked into that. If you want to make an electrolyte drink, guys, get yourself some water and put in a little bit of sea salt in there. And that's it. Oh, and some lemon juice. Lemon juice, sea salt, and water. It doesn't need to taste salty. Just a pinch goes a long way. And then Rachel has limes in hers, right? So she's basically got an electrolyte. It doesn't have to be lemon juice. It could be limes. It also doesn't have to be, fresh limes or fresh lemons. There are products out there that are organic, lemon juice or lime juices that are just, that's all that's in there is 100% juice. There's nothing else added. By all means, use those. We have it in our fridge. We just happen to subscribe to, what's it called? Misfits Market? Misfits Market. And we have 6 limes delivered to our house every single week because Rachel is a lime. She's not an addict of many things.
Lemon and lime. You got to switch it up.
You got to switch it up. But yeah, we have 6 lemons or 6 limes or both delivered to our home every week from Misfits Market. I don't want to over promote them, but boy, they're fantastic. And we'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll even drop a link for you guys to join up and get like 30% off your first order. And I'll talk about that in a different video. But nonetheless, don't get sucked into the energy drinks
Yeah.
or the sports drinks. Completely not a good idea. But do increase your hydration level. There really aren't a lot of studies though saying, okay, so I just ran a mile or 10 miles, or I did a hit, or I lifted weights, or, you know, I did some jumping jacks or whatever. There aren't really a lot of studies saying, well, if you did 10 jumping jacks, you need 10 more ounces of water. There aren't. You really have to get in rhythm with your body and understand what it feels like to be hydrated, which can take some time to get rehydrated, right? And then you'll know when you're dehydrated. But I would say up it a little bit with that. Certainly illness, certainly having a fever, we're going to want more water. And here's the thing. I'm going to give you guys a limiting factor, because ultimately you're going to hear from some misinformed doctor. Oh boy, don't get me started on education. It's just parroting again. What some of it's so untrue, but you're going to hear people say, well, you can't drink that much water because it'll hurt your kidneys. That's a bunch of bull. Here's the deal. Fact check me. Everybody agrees. Everybody agrees on this statement. Even with kidney disease, even with chronic kidney disease, the limiting factor is do not drink more than 1 liter per hour. I'll say that again. Don't drink more than 1 liter per hour, right? And then again, the only risk that we get, and I have seen this twice. I've seen this with 2 people out of thousands and thousands. It's something called hyponatremia, which is low sodium, right? Because what are these people doing? They're peeing out all their toxins. I've seen this only in 2 people, and they were very toxic people, and they were both older and on a lot of medications. And ultimately, when we looked at the medication list, they were causing hyponatremia all by itself. But, you know, again, if you put a little sea salt and put a little lemon juice or lime juice or real limes or lemons in there, you're going to take care of that. We don't have to worry about it. So again,
Hyponatremia.
Oh, then Yvonne, you're not the one I was thinking of. If you're hyponatremia, put some salt in there, put some lemon and lime there. And there could be some other genetic factors, but again, that's the rate. Don't drink more than 1 liter per hour. And if you knew that you had some genetic factors or some other factors that had, you know, you had a predisposition to hyponatremia, by all means, do a 1/2 liter an hour. I mean, you know, slow it down a little bit. And by all means, also don't drink 1 liter every hour that you're awake. I mean, I don't think anybody would do that. It'd be like 16 liters a day. I can barely get in my 4, you know, but I think that that's a good point. Yvonne's number 3. Yeah, number 3. So I've got 3 now that I know of. So nonetheless, I think that these are very, very good points. And I would say even with that hyponatremia, there's ways to manage that. And I know Yvonne knows that because she knows everything. She's brilliant.
I think fortunately it's pretty hard to.
It's really hard to drink
like you
yourself
said,
into it.
Overdo it. Just make sure you are peeing. I know there's a guy who had like tried to hold his pee for something, and that's no good.
I don't know why you would do that.
I don't know. He won something.
Yeah. So there are mitigating factors. And again, this is where personalized medicine comes in, you know, for all of that.
Yeah.
So.
And then I think this is a perfect segue into, you know, there's things that dehydrate us, right? And so
coffee or caffeine,
yep.
Alcohol, sugars, and artificial sweeteners.
Is there anything else? Well, exercise and potentially,
mitigating factors.
Like that.
Sweating. I mean, there's some good reasons to dehydrate that get us dehydrated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, with the holidays, we got potentially work parties, holiday gatherings. You know, that's when the booze come out.
I was gonna say the fun starts.
The fun starts. I think our, you know, take on it is avoid if at all possible. I think there is definitely that pressure to drink and to fit in and all of that. But I mean, you can put some limes in water and nobody has to know anything. I mean,
and I don't know if you may know this, and you guys may know this, and if you do, drop the answer in there. Pop quiz. The World Health Organization says that the maximum amount of alcohol that anyone should drink on any day is how much?
0. Is that right?
Yeah, it is right. But you answered it really fast.
Sorry.
You did. It was a pop quiz for Rachel.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
guys.
it is. No, I was going to see if they knew, but that's okay.
So
Think about that though. The World Health Organization did a meta-analysis of all the data that's out there on drinking. And they said the maximum amount of alcohol that any of us adults should drink is 0, none. There's no safe amount. It increases the risk of everything. Now, they didn't talk about children. This was adults. So I think kids can just drink as much as they can, you know, but
Maybe in Europe.
those are maybe Daniel's in Europe. So I mean, we're gonna blame it on the Europeans. So
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
but nonetheless, so 0 is the starting point. I do have a lecture that I can give that's about a half an hour long. I won't do it right now, on the J curve of medicine, or I'm sorry, the J curve of drinking, and how alcohol may improve certain things. It could be the resveratrol. There's some other, again, instances where I think we can justify it, but nonetheless,
Well,
meta-analysis.
probably there is a teensy bit of a feeling, at least in the moment, of stress management,
Yeah,
right? And I think
for real.
that's what, you know,
That's what most people are drinking.
why people do it
Most
to
people,
begin
yep.
with.
Yep,
you know?
I would agree.
So,
We don't drink, guys, but we're not teetotalers. We're not, you know, everyone that drinks is going to go, you know, down and spend some time in Hades or something like that, right? We're not going to do that. We don't drink because we made that choice for our health. And really that's why. Also, and it's interesting, since we haven't been drinking, it's interesting because I don't want to, I don't know how to say it. It's not like we were like, you know, drunk 24/7, right? But the clarity that you get and the freedom that you get and the money that you save.
Yeah,
and I
the
mean,
time,
geez
money.
Louise, the time, I mean, the list goes
Yeah.
on and on. It's just, and then not to mention the health benefits.
Mhm.
But have you guys ever noticed when you're out, especially if you've decided not to drink, how everybody wants to buy you a drink or get you a drink? Seriously, has anybody noticed that? I'm just curious. It happens to me all the time. I was just wondering. So yeah, you can throw in some comments if you'd like, but maybe nobody's noticed it too. So I was just curious. So we've developed some strategies. If you're one of those people that wants to not drink, but there's some social pressure there, Rachel came up with a good strategy. She's almost doing it right now.
Yeah. Well, you said this was vodka.
Right.
Most definitely is not. It's just water with limes. But yeah, I mean, you can ask for soda water with lime. And
Yep. So here's what would happen from my point of view. We would be out with a social function, and I'd have water. People would come up and say, "Hey, what do you want? I'm getting a drink. What do you want?" And I'm like, "No, it's okay. I don't want one." No, come on. I'm going to get you a drink. No, you know what? And finally I would say, "I don't drink." Right? I just don't drink. It's like, all of a sudden it's like, let's ramp it up. Come on, Dr. B, let's just have one drink with me. You got to try this here, right? Same thing happens with food, by the way, right? You just got to take one bite, just one sip, just one tiny little sip, right? And you know, I'm buying it. This is on me. And what I found is, and Rachel came up with this, not maybe in these big, you know, jars, but, you know, like in like a regular drink, you know, if you're out at a bar, just in a regular tumbler, just have them put some ice, some soda water, squeeze a lime in there. It looks like you're having vodka and lime or something like that. And if people come up and they're like, "Hey, you want a drink?" You know, put a little straw in there, even, right? One of those little drinking straws. You know, I don't know, I call them drinking straws, whatever they are. And then just say, "Oh, you know what? I'm okay. I've got a drink." You're not lying.
Right.
And they just assume that it's alcohol. And I love that this works. It works so well, that we use it all the time. You know, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think, yeah,
that was Rachel's invention.
Works like a charm.
Yeah.
Really. Sometimes what we'll do too is, you know, have tea.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to just be water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We have tea parties.
Yeah. I love drink. So the other night we were fortunate to spend some time with our friend Jim Chester, who has an awesome podcast, by the way, it has a weird name, but it's called Chiro Hustle. And it is the #1 podcast for chiropractic medicine in all of the world. And we were fortunate to have dinner with him the other night. And we kept our tab down because our tab at the restaurant, because we all just drink tea. And it was funny because, you know, like, "Can we get you a drink? Do you want a cocktail? Do you want this?" And, "Oh, you should try, here's our house drinks." And we're like, "Man, we just want some regular old, you know, Irish breakfast, English breakfast, you know, Earl Grey, whatever it is." I'm not an Earl Grey fan because I don't like bergamot oil, but nonetheless, we drank tea all night and it was fun. And then we were up to like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Talking about another
Watch the
podcast.
caffeine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a
And there's
good
decaf
tip.
teas that are out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly just having something in your hand in situations like that.
And sometimes
Yeah,
that sparkling,
change things.
that spark, what's the the bubbles. Whoops.
Stop working.
That's my reminder.
Oh, name of the podcast.
Oh, Cairo Hustle. I'll type it in there.
He's good.
Yeah, Jim's
Good
got
man.
a heart of gold,
Mhm.
and I'll just let you make your own opinion of it. But he's interviewed some amazing people. Just in the last month, he's had on Dr. Bruce Lipton from Biology Belief, Les Brown, a Headspace, big thinker, big picture visionary. Yours truly. Chris Colgan, who's an expert in leaky gut. I mean, he has some really cool people that are on there. It's an interview show with some like amazing people. And I would check that out. And again, we've got a baby project that we're working on. It's in its infancy with Jim right now on a podcast that I'll be doing with Jim, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
None of the details worked out yet. We're still putting the team together, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
You like to talk. It's perfect.
I do like to talk.
You're good at interviewing people too.
Yeah, and I like to interview people and pop quizzing them.
Except I ruin all the fun.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. What do we got here?
You're going to share. I think you're going to share
let me
your
see if I
screen.
have it. Oh, is this it? Yeah, there we go.
So it's under.
All right.
So you get that they're not sharing. That's not your share.
No, I know. I have to pull it up first.
Okay.
Goofy.
No. Click the.
Oh,
yeah. There you go.
There we go. All right, guys. So this will be shared with you too. But if you do,
there you go.
If you do, we talked about avoid if possible. It is possible.
That's the best advice.
That's the best advice, right?
Yeah. But when in doubt, I created the ultimate hangover guide for you guys.
Yeah. So this came to be when we passed out our greens detox drink at RAGBRAI, which is
it's so for those of you not in the Midwest and not into biking, RAGBRAI is, I don't even know how many years it's been going on, like 85 years or something. I don't know. I might be making that up.
Yeah.
But it's the registered annual Great Bike Ride Across Iowa. There we go. So you dip your tire on, I think they always start on the west and go east. Mm-hmm. I think that's correct. Yeah. It's west to east, and they dip your bike tire on the river on the west side, and then you ride over to the Mississippi and dip your tire over on the east side, and then you ride the whole way. And they choose the hottest week of the year, mid-July every single year. We didn't do one in 2020 because of COVID, so it was a big deal that there was no RAGBRAI. And RAGBRAI is basically just an excuse to be drunk 24/7 for a week. And so when they were coming through Iowa City, we created these little cards for them, which is what Rachel made here for you guys, of how to avoid the dangers of drinking too much and in excess. So I'll let you take over.
Yeah. So we'll share this with you if you want to refer back to it. But basically, first tip is to definitely have enough fiber. Basically, don't have an empty stomach. You won't feel the effects as much, which is good. We don't want you feeling that way. Right. So I think that's the first thing on here. Yeah. Yep. Fiber, multivitamin. If you don't take one, it's good long-term too, just to fill in the nutrient gaps.
So alcohol requires our liver. That's why alcoholics have liver problems, to detoxify, right? We go through the cytochrome P450 system. We got to get that junk out. Mm-hmm. The liver doesn't, and again, what does our body need for it to function? Every organ, including the liver: proteins, fats, fibers, vitamins, minerals, and water, right? So if we're drinking alcohol, we're dehydrated. And what does it require? Vitamins and minerals to detoxify, right? So again, give yourself a multivitamin. These are general, by the way, caveat, FDA here.
Sure.
These are general recommendations and are not meant to diagnose or treat any condition. If you have any questions, talk to your primary care physician, general practitioner. If you're my patient or my client, take a multivitamin. If you're not mine, talk to your GP. Yeah. And if your GP says it makes expensive urine, tell him to go read some journals or contact me, and I'll be happy to educate them a little bit more.
Okay, thank you for that PSA, Dr. Bradley. No, but yeah, so the body needs nutrients to get the alcohol out of the system. It says B vitamins, vitamin A, glutathione is super important in general as well, but also master antioxidant. Keep yourself hydrated. as we've been talking
Cheers.
about all hour. So, you know,
But I think this is good.
There's
I like
a tip,
this.
a great tip. Yeah. So for if you have a drink, before you have another one, drink an entire, you know,
It says huge glass of
huge
water.
glass of water.
Start with a huge glass of water first.
Yeah.
And then match your alcohol intake with water.
There you go.
So if you're having, you know, like 12 ounces of beer, great. Drink 12 ounces of water,
Mhm.
and then 12 ounces of beer, and then 12 ounces of water. So water, beer, right? Start with water, end with
How many
water.
beers are you gonna do?
And drink as much beer as possible. If you're from the #1 party school for undergraduate, like I went to, believe me, you can. We used to have something called Case Day, and the challenge was a case of beer, 24 beers in 24 hours. It sounds easier than
But
it
it's-
is, and we would all anyway. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun in my life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised I'm on this planet.
Good old days. Haha,
In the
just
good
kidding.
in the good old days, right?
These are the good days. Avoid carbonated beverages. This is a good one. So carbonation, I think you absorb alcohol more quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. And
So
it
beer's
says
like a
it
double
will
whammy.
leave you praying to the porcelain god and paying the piper the next morning.
That's good writing.
Yours truly here. Yeah. So
Praying to the porcelain god and paying the piper. I love that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's called alliteration.
yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
that. So yeah, just avoid. I mean, that's when I don't know if you've had champagne, but things like that. I mean, you definitely
I know about me.
Get
If
you
I
nice.
don't drink it anymore, but with champagne, I used to feel tipsy if I'd have even a little bit.
right.
And it's because that alcohol is getting absorbed very quickly at that point.
Mhm.
And again, there's some other effects with that.
Yep.
This is a good one too.
Yeah, limit your consumption to
I like that I pat myself on the back with these pieces of good advice, you know?
limit your consumption to clear liquors like is rum clear? Rum is clear.
Yeah, there is clear rum.
I don't even know. Vodka or gin. Dark liquors, red wine, bourbon, brandy, whiskey, tequila have a higher amount of toxic chemicals called congeners.
Yep. Congeners.
I can't read. Which are responsible for many of the symptoms experienced during a hangover, especially those horrible headaches.
Yep.
So
again, don't drink anything, but if you're going to drink anything, I would go, it's hard for me to say this out loud. Like if I was going to drink, and I'm not going to drink, but if I was going to drink, I would go with the purest, organic, non-grain vodka possible, or gin from the juniper berry, or rum from, the heck is rum from?
pop quiz. No,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know where it's from, but nonetheless, I would go with a clear liquor, and again, match it ounce for ounce. That doesn't mean if you have an ounce of gin, have an ounce of water. I would say, because they're going to mix that gin with something. If they don't, have at least 12 ounces of water in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to overdo it with the water. That's for sure.
Right. Couple more
Now,
here.
congeners are what's responsible for the hangovers.
Congeners.
So stay away. If it has color to it, stay away from it.
And then with
If
wine,
it's carbonated,
there's,
stay away from it.
something with wine too.
There's sulfites.
yeast and
There's sulfites. Yeah.
That's
So a
what-
lot of people
yeah.
have sulfite sensitivities. So I
Yeah.
can't drink wine, especially white wine, and it's because of the sulfites and the sulfates that are in there.
Yeah.
And almost all wine
There is a dry farm wine.
companies.
is-
Yeah. There are dry wines that are out there, and
Organic.
dryfarmwines.com. We have no affiliation with them. But they do have organic.
Mold free.
Yeah.
Sugar free.
If you're going to
Which
drink
is
wine,
kind
go
of a
to
weird
dryfarmwines.com. And again, I'm not encouraging you to do that, but if you're going to, and you're in the States, look at dryfarmwines.com. However, for our European friends, almost all of their wines are sourced from
Europe, yeah.
Italy and France, which is interesting, right? So I can't say, hey, carte blanche, if you're in Europe, just go get yourself some organic French and Italian wine and go for it. I can't say that. But nonetheless, it is interesting that our best wines in the United States, dryfarmwines.com, are just importers. All they are just importers.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Before bed, drink another large water. And what you can do is take another multivitamin
Mhm.
just to get those nutrients in. But whatever you do not do Tylenol or acetaminophen. Just again, as you know, that needs the liver. So does alcohol. Can be just harsh.
If you want to, dance with the devil and maybe not wake up, it really is alcohol plus Tylenol, plus dehydration, plus, no vitamins in your system.
Alcohol and a lot of different medications.
Yeah, alcohol is bad news bears for almost everything, but Tylenol in specific, acetaminophen, paracetamol, if you're in Europe, there are going to be very, very, very bad combinations. And we see that cytochrome P450 system failing, and that's when people die.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had really brilliant people die from that combination. Got too drunk, took some Tylenol, trying to, they felt like crap, and they die from Tylenol toxicity. Interestingly, going back to the multivitamin, and it says, don't forget B vitamins, vitamin A, and glutathione. Glutathione, even though it's a nutrient, it's what's used in hospital during a Tylenol overdose. I mean, it's interesting. We use that nutrient. So again, we gave you that specifically on this holiday hangover guide.
Yep, for sure. And then waking up the next morning, if you're still not feeling so good, you can do.
Hopefully, and honestly, I think if you follow this advice, you're going to be feeling fine.
Yeah, this is the worst
case scenario.
Tomato juice or black breakfast tea.
I was going to say coffee though. But,
okay.
But I mean, it's same idea.
I know the tea definitely has the B vitamins that it's going to help you get over it quicker. And of course there's a little caffeine in there, but and
tomato juice has just been studied. Generally speaking, I wouldn't recommend tomato juice for a lot of reasons. Lectins, sometimes sugars, just depends on what it is. But tomato juice has been studied a lot with hangovers, and it seems to help. I mean, mitigate some of the symptoms.
Yeah.
But again, I would go into this with, how am I going to not have symptoms? And I think that you're going to be a lot better served, for sure.
Yeah.
So awesome.
So yeah, we'll share this with you. Hopefully.
What's down here?
Helpful.
Can I scroll?
Yeah.
Can I do this?
Yeah. So let's do it.
So what does this say? Oh, wow.
So,
yeah, cool. Can we make it smaller?
There we go. Awesome, guys. Yeah, I'll post this.
There.
Whoa, that's true. Well, no, yeah, we don't need to see the guide anymore. So for those of you who aren't our clients, or even if you are and you struggle with hydration, we do have a way to really work on that. It's our 14-day hydration challenge. And
I'm going to expand that a little bit. Keep talking.
Yeah. And should hopefully, I'll make sure you can click on this hyperlink here, but basically, for 14 days, and whether it's now or after the holidays, you can do this whenever, no time like the present, right? But anyways,
there is literally no time except this present,
right?
Because we don't even know what's next.
We don't.
The past is gone. The future may not exist for all we know. This is the only time that we have. I'm working on Zen moments. This is my therapy. Be here now. For those of you that know me well enough, know that I have the words "be here now" tattooed on my arm, right here in Rachel's handwriting, so I can remember to be present in this moment right now. But yeah, there really is no time,
right,
other than the present moment.
Yeah. So check it out. It's basically 14 days of eliminating as much as possible except for water, or if you're up for it, just drinking water.
Hold on. In addition to healthy food. This isn't like a 14-day water only challenge.
Right.
By all means, that's got to be doctor supervised.
Yes.
We just mean the 14-day hydrate, and this is all in the hydration reset challenge when you download the or see the document online, right?
Yeah.
It just means instead of drinking anything else along with the food that you're eating, just drink water for 2 weeks. That's it.
Right.
Just hit the 100 ounces, 3 liters, 4 liters, right? Or half your body weight in ounces, whatever that is. And just do that and drink nothing else for 14 days. And then you have, can you read that?
What?
This.
Oh yeah.
You have like a prize or something. It looks like. What does this say? There we go.
Yeah. Anyways,
did you want to add to that?
That challenge is, no, I was going to, but now I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, super.
We'll get
basically,
this
and I think it talks about it in there too. Just start, even if you don't do the challenge fully, start looking at how much water you're drinking daily. If you're not right now, write it down.
Less than you think.
However it works for you. There's apps to track it, all of that. A lot of us think we're getting water in, but we're really not. So that would be the biggest thing with the challenge is
I was looking for my H2O
knowing how much you're actually drinking. Yeah, there's water bottles that can measure how much water you've had. There's cool things, but
where's my
whatever
H2O
works
pal?
for you, just tracking it,
Yep.
I think is super important. finally.
I have a smart water bottle
yeah.
called an H2O Pal. And I actually only use it when I've been really off with water and I need to like force myself to drink more water. It's a smart water bottle that feeds to my phone and tells me how much water I've drank. And it's at h2opal.com. Feel free to check that out again, h2opal.com. And please don't pay retail for it. Use the code if you're going to buy one, Epic FMC. That's just EPIC FMC, like Frank, Mary, Charlie. Epic FMC. That's your discount code. I think it gets you 20% off. And again, we don't have any other affiliation with them other than that we like the product and they gave us a discount for you guys. And usually I have mine here, but it's pretty cool and I like it. And then my phone and my watch can remind me. I just set timers on it now. But if you're into one of those people that really wants to track it all, which I recommend doing, especially when you're relearning how to drink water, that's a really great device, that H2O Pal.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it's got a little scale on the bottom, and
it's cool. It's a cool device. Yeah,
it is cool.
And then
awesome. So yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks again, everyone.
Wait,
for
what about this
joining.
comment with a picture?
But yeah, we'll wrap it up here with comment. So basically, we're going to give away a prize here at the end of the week. And so your comments and your interaction are encouraged. We'll get this posted, and on this post, what we want you to do is just comment a picture of your water bottle or your glass of water or
Mine's
whatever
gone.
it is.
All right, one little sip.
Good. Awesome. I will finish mine up here. Yeah. So post a picture of that and then share your favorite hydration tips and tricks. And anything else you have on hydration or any questions too, but
Yeah, anything.
Yeah, just make sure you post a picture of it, and yeah, we'll be sure you get entered in to win a prize here at the end of the week.
And Rachel likes to give away really cool prizes. I will tell you, I don't even know what the prize is, but every time she's giving something away,
I'm like Mrs. Claus.
Yeah, I always wish that it was me that won, and I'm ineligible to win. So you guys get cool prizes that I covet. I will let you know. I mean, she does a good job. So I'm excited to see what that prize is. And when are you going to announce that then?
That'll be Friday when we.
And it's like a lottery drawing, right?
Yeah.
So every time you comment, is that right? Every time you comment, you get your name in the bucket.
We have our main raffle prize, which is Monday through Friday. Natalie is posting, and so if you comment on those, we have another prize there. We like prizes. Trying to get a Muse device to give away, but we'll keep working on that. And then
we did have one at one point.
Yeah.
And I love mine. That's a different topic for another day.
Right.
We'll cover that on Thursday when we're doing stress management.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'll bring my Muse in. Yeah, cool.
And then the other thing is, if you invite people to join our group, we're going to give away a prize. We track all that. So if you invite people to join in on the fun and join the Epic Vibe Blend community, we will make sure we track that, and there'll be a prize for whoever invites the most, right? People.
So there's, like I said, Rachel likes to give things away. So take advantage of it, for sure, and have fun with it. The important thing is this group is supposed to be fun, informative, empowering. In fact, Epic stands for empowering the person to impact the community. So share, guys, share. Listen, and speaking of sharing, there we go. Speaking of sharing, listen, we love you guys, and you'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel.
Yeah, tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central, with Coach Natalie on diet and food and that, navigating all that through the holidays.
Yep, and I would love to be on, but for the next couple of days, I'm scheduled out at 1. But I'll be back on Thursday to talk about stress management. I just can't wait to get there, and I'll talk to you about my Muse, to choose Muse. But again, don't buy retail. I have a code for you guys for that as well. But check out choosemuse.com anyway, and then I'll dangle the carrot for the code, and then make sure that you guys have a massive discount code for that, which I'm excited about. Thank you.
Yeah.
For all the work that you did putting this together.
Yeah, it's fun.
And thank you guys.
See what earrings I can come up with tomorrow.
Thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate the time and energy that you gave us, and I hope that you got some value out of this. Like Rachel said, all that we want to do is love and serve you guys and everybody that we can. We thank you for helping us to get our message out, for inviting people to the group. We started this group earlier in the year. Our goal was to have 1,000 people in the group by the end of the year. we hit that. I think we're at like 12 or 1300 right now. So, I mean, we've really like nailed that down. So next year, by the end of 2021, I'd like to have 10,000 people in this group. I think we can do it. And we're only going to be able to do it with your guys' help. So thank you guys for spreading the love, spreading the word, get people to join this webinar, watch it on YouTube. I could just keep going on and on. We have so much content to share with you guys. We love you guys.
And stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. See you Thursday. Also, I'll see you before Thursday. See you guys Thursday.
Yeah, we'll see you soon and have a great rest of your day too. Thanks, Pat. Bye-bye.
See you guys.